You're a great photographer. Your images are stunning. Your clients love your work. So, why does the bank account not reflect that? I'll tell you exactly why. And that has nothing to do with your camera or your editing or your portfolio. I'm Cheryl Barton, and for over a decade, I ran the entire photography department at DaySpring. That's the greeting card company owned by Hallmark. I was one person, hundreds of products a month, corporate deadlines, no backup. And I figured out the hard way that most photographers never learn in school, not from YouTube, and not from a mentor. The one thing that was holding me back, and the thing that's probably holding you back right now, it wasn't my skill, it was my system, or rather, the lack of the system. Here's what I see happening with photographers every single day. You book a client, you do beautiful work, you deliver it, and then you realize you forgot to charge for retouching time. Or you can't find files for the 6 months ago because your folder system is a disaster. Or a new inquiry comes in and it sits in your inbox for 4 days because you were buried in editing. And by the time you realized it, they had already booked with someone else. It's not your photography that's a problem, it's the systems that's a problem. And here's the hard truth: 80% of photography business fail within 5 years. Not because the photographer wasn't talented, because the business was running them instead of the other way around. Let me tell you about the moment this really clicked for me. It was my second year at DaySpring. We're headed into the busiest seasons. Thousands of photos need to be taken for the product's spring catalog. My predecessor had left me with, let's call it, organized chaos. Files were everywhere. No naming systems, no workflow, nothing. I was working 70 hours a week and still falling behind. I was exhausted and remember sitting there one night thinking, I love photography. Why does this feel like I'm drowning? So I did something that changed everything. I studied how Fortune 500 companies, including Hallmark's home office, manage their creative assets. I looked at corporate project management systems, digital asset management tools, workflow templates, and then I adapted all of that for photography. So within 30 days, 1 month, I went from chaos to control. My 70-hour week became 40. My stress dropped, my output actually increased, and managers within the company started noticing the difference in my professionalism. Here's what I really want you to hear. Those same systems that kept a corporate photography department running for a decade, they work for any photography business. The only difference is most independent photographers have never been exposed to them. Nobody teaches you this stuff. Not in photography school, not in business courses, not in Facebook groups. You're just expected to figure it out on your own. And most photographers are doing exactly that. They're guessing and scrambling, reinventing the wheel on every single job. But not anymore. You don't have to after today. Let me show you the 5 pillars that changed everything. These are the exact systems I built at DaySpring and eventually compiled into what I'm now calling the Focus on Success Blueprint. Pillar 1 is digital asset management. Forget folders named by date or random project names. I'm talking about a keyword tagging system so powerful that I can find any photo from the past in under 10 seconds. A client calls about an image from 3 years ago, found instantly. Pillar 2 is client blueprint. Every client interaction, preference, deadline, and detail captured in one place. So when a client calls back for their 5th session, you already know that they prefer morning shoots. They hate overhead lighting, or they always order 20 prints. That's not a good memory. That's a good system. Pillar 3 is financial visibility. Most photographers have no idea what their true hourly rate is after expenses. My tracking systems show you exactly which services make money and which ones are highly draining your profits. This one pillar alone helped photographers raise their rates by 40%. So pillar 4 is project pipeline. Every project follows the same workflow: inquiry, quote, contract, shoot prep, production, post-production, delivery, follow-up. Nothing falls through the cracks because the system won't let it. Pillar 5 is equipment and expense intelligence. Know exactly what every piece of gear costs you per shoot. Track which equipment actually generates ROI. I once discovered an expensive lens I was using only twice a year, while a reflector I used in every single shot. Yes, I did sell the lens. So here's what I did. I took every template, every workflow, every tracking sheet from my decade at DaySpring, and I compiled it into one complete system designed specifically for photographers. It's called Focus on Success Blueprint. It's 50 pages of corporate tested tools refined through thousands of shoots and millions of dollars in photography projects. And it's the exact same system I turned my 70-hour chaos weeks into a calm, profitable 40-hour workflow. Inside, you'll find the client management workflows that turn the chaos into clockwork, project management tools that make sure nothing falls through the cracks, revenue tracks so you can finally know your numbers, and digital asset organization so you can find everything in seconds. And I've already watched photographers transform their businesses with this. Beth, a portrait photographer in Texas, raised her rates 40% because she finally understood her true cost. Mike, a product photographer, boosted his income by 60% while actually working fewer hours. And Jennifer saved 10 hours a week just from cleaning up her file management system. These aren't lucky breaks. This is what happens when you treat your business like a business. So here's what I want you to do right now. So click in the link below to grab the Focus on Success Blueprint. It's only $27. That's less than the cost of a memory card. And it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. No risks, just results. Customize it with your own workflows, with your own clients, with your own schedule. And 30 days from now, I want you to look back and realize everything is different. Not because you got a new camera, but because you finally have a system. If this was helpful, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. You don't want to miss the next video. And drop a comment below and tell me your biggest organizational challenge right now. And I read every single one of your comments. And your question just might become my next video. I'm Cheryl Barton, and I'll see you in the next video where organization meets opportunity.